Hello, my name is David Ogilvie. I'm the grape grower and winemaker for Ogilvie Merlot Vintners, which is also Silt Wine Company, Fellow Wines, Scenic now. I'm really excited to be doing this and letting you all know a little bit more about myself. Um, I grew up here in Clarksburg. I'm a fourth generation farmer for Wilson Farms, which is what's on the dirty farm hat. And I left Clarksburg to go to college at UC Davis, and I wanted to be an ag teacher, but then took intro to winemaking, and it changed my life. And transferred my major to viticulture and enology. And after Davis, I traveled for 2 years working in South Africa, Spain, and Australia, and traveled everywhere in between, finishing my trip with a short stint in Fiji just to relax. And I learned a lot about wine on my travels and worked at all these amazing wineries, but I also learned that I really like beer. And when you're in a uncommon territory, the place you go to meet people is at a bar drinking beer. So I did a fair amount of that on my travels, and I came home and found myself actually in the beer industry. My wife Anna got a master's in public health at Emory University in Atlanta, and when I went there with her, I was working in the wine industry and started selling wine for a distributor, but started home brewing like crazy. And then I ended up getting my master brewer certificate through UC Davis, and started working at Anheuser-Busch in Fairfield, and then went out to Williamsburg, Virginia. And by the time I was in working for Anheuser-Busch for 8 years, and when I left Virginia, our daughter Molly was 2 years old, and we decided that we wanted to be back on the West Coast, closer to family. And at the same time, my family's farm, Wilson Farms, was kind of ready to have me back and help usher our farm into the next generation. So my brother Phil came back as well at the same time, and Tom Merwin was already here, and we grew up together. Our moms were best friends, and our grandfathers were best friends. And Tom really is the one who pushed us and said, "Hey, when are we going to start a wine company?" You know, our family has been growing wine grapes for a long time, but we weren't in the wine business yet. And you know, with my background, and my brother was getting his MBA at the time, it just made a lot of sense. And our first wine was a Chardonnay that was all Clarksburg grapes. It was a negociant type wine where we purchased the wine from a friend who made it here in Clarksburg, and we called it Muddy Boot Wine. And we learned a whole lot off that brand, and that gradually turned into what we have today with the Silt tasting room and the Silt brand, and then Fellow, and now Scenic.